This is WEBurlesque. Hey, this is Viktor Devonne, and this is the season finale of WEBurlesque the podcast, season 9. I'm very glad to have done this podcast since 2017 when I first decided to talk to people on the record and sort of preserve a lot of the conversations that we would have backstage or that we never got to backstage. Uh, Certainly, the nature of live performance is this sort of ephemera where we just sort of go into the ether and it disappears and exists only in our version of our memories. And while that's fun and all, it always kind of pisses me off when those things disappear. And the first thing I would do with a cybernetic implant is capture and recall and re-witness. And part of that probably is deeply psychologically complicated. But what a pleasure it has been, and what a unique position to be in to capture situations and situationships as they occurred. Clearly, if you go back years, storylines have changed. There are friendships that don't exist anymore. There are shows that don't exist anymore. People don't live in the same places anymore. People have actually passed on that are in these audio files. And so to preserve in some capacity has been a pleasure. And I don't take it lightly. And I want you to know that I really appreciate every single person who takes the time to download this, to stream this, to tell me that they do those things, to comment when they have the opportunity to go to the people that are in these interviews and say, hey, I heard your conversation on We Burlesque. That's great. Please, please use this as a launching off point. I don't know what else it's good for, if not a way of learning from, saving moments, saving time, and I guess sort of reminding us that it's just us that's going to tell our stories. We don't have The Tonight Show. We don't have Dancing with the Stars yet. I would love us to. I would love us to have a wider reach, a wider range. And it seems like every couple months or so, there's another A-list star that's capitalizing on the world of burlesque, but we're not included in an interesting kind of way. So it's still ours. And that's both incredibly disappointing and also all right. That means that we get to still control the narrative, and we're one of the few bastions of entertainment that we get to control the narrative. If you're a regular listener, you know that I talk a lot about how we're the ones that, like, the calls come from inside the house still. And while that can be an incredibly scary and occasionally dangerous position to be in, with a lot of echo chamber and a lot of um, lack of accountability, perhaps, or a lot of cosmic awareness, it it also means that we still have a chance and we still have the opportunity to do it. And this year has been baffling in so many ways. So many ways. I don't need to explain the ways because you already know what I'm referring to. Um, and you already know things that I'm not yet referring to because you have your own personal experiences that regionally and universally can be felt, from the losses that we've experienced politically, the world that seems to revel in cruelty and injustice and pain, and yet celebration and excitement and thrill and joy if we can find it. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm not reading anything here. I'm just sort of going off the top of my head. So I'm not necessarily expecting that I'm going to come up with some great enlightenment to share with you, but I hope that at the very least, as you enter the last bit of 2025, or if you're listening to this sometime in the future, that, I don't know, you hold space for yourself, you hold space for each other, you hold each other's fingernails when you know that we're the only ones left who really can move us forward. So It is my pleasure to be one of those people. It still is one of my very favorite things to do. And sometimes when I accomplish absolutely nothing else in a day, the fact that I say, well, I talked to somebody, that should count, right? Oh, I uploaded something, that should count, right? Oh, I made sure I sent those emails and I scheduled some conversations and we're going to get those on the record. I gotta say, sometimes you are the only thing I accomplish. And I really appreciate you. Be well and protect each other and have some perspective on what we're protecting each other from sometimes. So, I love you. Thanks. Get right into it. This is WEBurlesque, the podcast, and I am your host, Viktor Devonne, and through the miracle of fiber optics, I get to talk to nightlife individuals in the field of burlesque, drag, and cabaret, and today is no exception. I have the illustrious Raven Rose on the line. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hello, darling. We spent backstage together recently in Arizona. It was a
Yeah.
pleasure to see you there. How have you been these last couple of weeks?
Um, Tired. Good, but October is like a busy season, so it starts getting a little wacky. I don't know what day it is most of the time. So,
I understand. So we were recording this at the very beginning, the last full week, the first full week of October, last couple of days of, and I guess it also depends regionally. So where am I dialing into exactly? Where are you?
so I am in Northwest Arkansas. So like kind of
Northwest.
on the Arkansas-Oklahoma border. Yeah.
Now I know a few people in Arkansas, but they're in the Fort Smith area. Is Fort Smith?
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
about an hour out from me at the most. Yeah.
Okay. So that would be Ten Honey Buns and Penny Slane and some other folks and friends of the pod. What
Yeah.
is the Arkansas a big Halloween region?
Um,
Is there a lot going on there for that? Also, you're a
I
mom, so
mean,
you have,
yeah, there's
trick-or-treating
that
ahead of you.
aspect of it of like getting a costume together for my kiddo
Yeah.
and they can't decide what they want to be. And yeah, so we're going back and forth on that right now. Um, Surely one day they'll give me an answer. But yeah, as far as shows go, um, yeah, there's plenty to do here, but I also spend a lot of time like in surrounding states too, because I'm kind
Mm.
of like on this border, so I can go to Tulsa or Oklahoma City pretty easily, Dallas and down to Houston even. So yeah, I'm kind of all over the place this coming month.
Do you travel a lot? Do you find that to be a therapeutic, you know, I guess some people would say like, oh, I can't like whenever I come from because I live in Riverside and I go to LA and a lot of people are like, oh, that's so far. I'm like, yeah, but where did you come from? And they say somewhere in LA and I said, how long did that take you to go from this part of LA to this part of LA? About the same amount of
The
time.
same amount of time, yeah. Yes, it's exactly like that. And I would say like the burlesque scene here is small, so there's just not as much opportunity to stay busy in the state.
Mm.
So I get to perform here, but in order to like pack my schedule, I have to travel. Yeah.
How long have you been performing?
Nearly 15 years now.
Oh, well done. Well,
Yeah, burlesque specifically. I've been a performer my entire life. I did like studio dance and competition dance and was a professional cheerleader
oh
and
my.
yeah, and then decided to go into nightlife entertainment, you know?
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because you mentioned cheerleading. Obviously, there's so many preconceived notions about what burlesque is, but there's also so many preconceived notions about cheerleading due to things like Bring It On. Uh, do you find that to be an accurate representation, or is that sort of the Christina Aguilera movie of of cheerleading?
You know what? I'm actually not the person to ask that because I never
Uh,
did like competition cheer. I just
oh,
did like
okay.
arena football cheer. So it's
Oh
more
shit.
dance oriented, more like drill team-esque if we were gonna like compare the two. Yeah.
Okay. So you were doing it for games.
Yes.
Oh, okay. In the Arkansas area?
Yeah. We used to have an arena football team a million years ago, and yeah, I don't even think it
Oh,
exists anymore.
it's so funny. You know what? You said that, and for some reason, I think maybe because you also mentioned competition for dance, I just assumed, I kind of forget. And it's so funny that I did forget because obviously cheerleading is back in the headlines because now we have uh gender blending in
Yeah.
our cheerleading again, and that's creating,
hmm
a big tizzy
Yeah. For no good reason.
for no good
Yeah.
reason. It's all, we're an incredibly uncomfortable species, and we just need to
Yeah.
complain. Yeah.
I guess make it tough.
But so you also did competition dance, you said.
Yeah, like in my junior high and high school years, we would travel and do these dance competitions all over
Mm.
the country, Chicago, Florida, just go everywhere and compete. Yeah.
What was the kind of dance?
Um, a lot of jazz, a lot of white people hip hop, a lot of
And that's hip
Palm
hop.
Squad type stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you for someone who that was a feature, or were you just trying to stay in the background for that?
No, I was out
You're
and
always
then
out about at
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was my life. I didn't like being at home very much, and so I really immersed myself in the life for sure. Yeah. And then when I wasn't doing like that specific type of competition dance with school, I also did studio dance with a dance studio in my town. So I stayed dancing for
You were moving.
years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, so the athleticism and the physicality and the learning of what your body can and shouldn't do, um,
hmm
do you feel that that has assisted in your burlesque work, or do you have to work against it?
I yes and no. Like it has taught me a lot about taking care of my body and making
Mm,
sure that I'm moving properly in order to not injure myself or things like that. But as far as the fundamentals of that type of dancing versus the fundamentals of burlesque dancing, those two kind of really butt heads, and I really had to retrain myself. Yeah.
mm. Is there a style that you think that you would fall into more specifically in burlesque? Do you think you're more of a classic, more of a slow burn, more of a specific?
I think that that's what people know me for because that's what I get asked to do a lot when I'm traveling. But I do get weird too. So I think that I just don't get the opportunity to like showcase that as often.
Mm,
Um, yeah.
it's so hard being booked and blessed, Raven.
I mean, I worked really hard to get it this
Yeah,
way. There was
yeah.
during COVID, we had our child and I was like, I'm not gonna do my corporate job anymore because I have this baby and I've waited this long to be a mom and so I'm gonna enjoy it. But once I started to like want to get back to work, I was like, I'm not gonna do corporate life. I'm gonna just like throw myself into burlesque. So
Hmm.
it is my full-time job now. And so
Hmm.
yeah, I do try to stay busy as I can.
I mean, that's sort of I mean, not for everyone. I shouldn't say it's the dream for everyone, but I know so many of us, myself included, where I sort of feel that the weight of everything outside of show business is so harrowing that I just want to perform. I just want to do shows.
Yeah.
I just want to make silly things happen. I want to make great, beautiful things.
And make people laugh and be
Yeah.
entertained. Yeah.
And so to have that element and then sort of, I guess, deal with the repercussions of the outside world in addition to that, it's just we have to put on sort of our show faces and allow our audiences not to feel that way, I guess, while we're in front of them is
Oh,
the hope.
yeah. Oh yeah,
So
that is part of like that is the job. Yeah, for
yeah.
sure. No matter what's going on in our own lives, we have to like entertain them, right? Like
Mm.
that's what the energy exchange is about. So, yeah, I feel that.
Does that seem to be bubbling right now for you? Is sort of seeing audience members just really wanting to lose themselves in these troublesome, tumultuous times?
I think that that's always been the case. but I'm also like navigating it from a perspective of somebody who is Black and Indigenous and queer and a woman. So like I feel like that pressure's always been there in my world, but like so I've always taken that into consideration when I am entertaining. Like I want out of the bubble, that bubble just as much as they do. So
Hmm.
we're doing that together.
Right. Well, that's also something really powerful about you being, I wouldn't say pigeonholed, but being respected as a classic burlesque performer because you have all those intersections. That is beautiful and fabulous to see that you would also be recognized in what is very often seen or often expected to be sort of a white woman's
Yeah.
game, which is classic.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I
um,
think that there was a point in time where I did focus really hard on that because I saw that gap
mm,
and wanted to fill it. I wanted to be like, you can be brown and still be opulent and beautiful and shiny and sparkly and stand on a stage and command attention too. Like I
yeah,
wanted to fill that gap.
right, right. Yeah, I'm many shades of white myself. So, I have the Polish, the Lithuanian, the Hungarian, places that sometimes see the sun.
Yeah.
And then the last quarter is, just a lot of other
A
stuff.
little mystery. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you got your Dutch, you got your English, you got your Scottish, you got your other
Yeah.
shades of white, frankly.
Yeah.
I did grow up being told because many, white people in the 80s were told that there's some thing. I was told Cherokee in there somewhere, but I've never done one of those 23andMe or anything
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I do find that that is a common trope that people are like, I
Hmm.
am Cherokee, and I'm like, you know what? Who am I to tell you anything about you? So, you know,
Being
I
out
just
there, you're
exist.
doing,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Managing to exist is powerful, hopefully enough for a lot of folks. And you are a very glamorous individual. You're gorgeous, obviously.
Thank you.
You look at you go out there, and you are. It's been a big year for you. I don't want to talk about too much about it because I know it was somewhat complicated, but you recently were on the Burlesque Hall of Fame stage. How was that
Yeah.
experience? At large,
Um,
at large.
at large, I mean, I have to say I am just like proud of myself for applying. I have been doing this for a long time and have never even thought about applying to Beehoff. So applying and then getting in, I was already like proud of myself. I could have gone
Yeah.
on stage, fallen on my face, and like, you know, just ta off of the stage and still been proud of myself at that point. Um, and then, it was also a little strange.
It was a little strange. A little strange. We don't have to go into the reasons why, but the
I'm okay
the
to talk
great
about it. It's fine. It is comical to me at this point. So.
at this point, excellent. Well, because it's we live for that shit when it's like the Academy Awards, so why not, right? We as burlesque people deserve that, our Steve Harvey moments, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So you were temporary. How many? 12 minutes? Or 2 minutes?
No, it was like, I don't even know the time limit, but we were joking that it was like 2 minutes and 45 seconds. So that's been the tagline, so to speak, for
Yeah.
since then.
I have to assume it's because you were very, very close. I have to assume that mathematically, and that was for the most classic.
Yes.
Yeah. Which then was corrected, I guess I should say. They got the actual tally, and it was Jezebel Thunder. And I mean, if you're going to lose to anybody, I would lose to
Oh,
Jezebel Thunder any day of the week.
listen, I got to hand just about a trophy. I'm really not that mad, y'all.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think one of the things is that because everyone was just so happy, is that it's it doesn't happen a whole lot where we have our opportunities to celebrate each other. I think is so important. It's one of the reasons that I do the Silver Tusk Awards. It's one of the reasons that I have a love-hate with competition stuff.
Yeah.
The hate is dwindling, frankly. The only reason I have that even any of the hate aspect of the love-hate relationship is because I feel bad for people who take it so hard.
So hard. Yeah, for
Because
sure.
I've taken it kind of hard in the
Yeah,
past.
and there are times when like that
So
it's just you're more sensitive than you normally would be and it just is
who knew?
harder
And you
for
didn't
yeah.
know, and you didn't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
But because we're, I say we're a bunch of crayon boxes full of neurodivergence. You also never know quite how it's going to be in the moment,
Right.
and also there is something in us that we're like, I think really we do want that recognition from our peers just as much as from the audience.
Right.
That
Yeah, for
validation, that
sure.
validation. And I don't think it's any coincidence. The fact is that because we look up to our colleagues and our friends
Yeah.
are fucking amazing. And
Right.
we're like, we want to be just as good as they are.
Yeah, it is like that. Yeah, for sure.
Hmm. Did you have a mentor or someone that showed you the way, or did you path this on your own?
I definitely had people here and there, not necessarily like a mentor specifically, but like that I would um or that would like take me under their wing a little bit and kind of, show me a little bit of like you don't have to do 5, 6, 7, 8 with burlesque. You can actually take a beat, like
Hmm.
and just give me that little bit of critique that I needed to like keep it moving. So I
Or
do
slow
feel,
down.
or so, yeah, very that,
Yeah,
very much that. Yeah.
yeah. Have you found yourself in that position for other people where you have either mentored or assisted in some capacity?
Definitely. I don't aspire to be someone that has like a ton of burlesque kids running around, mostly because people are wild and I don't want to be responsible for any of anybody else's behavior. But I do have a few people that like call me like their burlesque mama, which is cute, but it's not something that I am like setting out to be for people by any means.
It's still a village. It's not you're
Yes, very that. Very. I want that like collaboration as
yeah.
opposed to like someone just telling me what to do or me telling someone else what like I don't think that that's fun for a lot of people. So,
Yeah, you get to do that at home. That's
yeah, I have a toddler. That's what that's for.
has that been interesting as a full-time performer as well as a parent to schedule things around and make things work?
Yes. But I do have the luxury of like staying home with them
Oh,
like
cool.
during the week. So we do like homeschooling. Um, and I also make other people's costumes. So I'm at home sewing a lot during the week. And yeah, it's pretty easy. They just kind of hang out with me most of the time, unless we're doing like our formal sit down schooling stuff.
Uh, does that so I don't actually know a whole lot about homeschooling. Do you get things from the state?
Well, they're not old enough to actually
Right, they're not
be
doing like
be in
math.
school yet, but
Yeah.
within the next year, yes, that will be the case. But unfortunately, Arkansas has the lightest like requirements for homeschooling, so I
Hmm.
do that stuff for the state. Like it's just a sheet of paper, you fill it out, you let them know what's going on. But I choose curriculums from states that have like higher requirements
Oh, I didn't know you could do
because
that. That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, parenthood, well, it would never happen accidentally for me without a lot of, I would really have to try to become a parent, but it's never been something that spoke to me,
Hmm.
or anything like that. Was motherhood or parenthood something that you felt a draw to as being?
Um, if you would have asked me that in my early 20s, I would have said, yes, I'll probably be married with 4 kids by the time I turn 30.
Hmm.
Um, Once I turned 30, I was like, absolutely not. I'm
Hmm.
good. I have nephews. I'll just be the cool, weird aunt. That's fine. And then I met my partner now, my wife, and yeah, everything kind of fell into our laps, so to speak. So, yeah.
And you're married to a civilian, right? You're not married to someone in the
Yeah.
scene.
Well, no, she's not in the scene. She's not someone who like likes the spotlight. unless it's like a karaoke bar, then she turns into a star. But like,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
See, there are ways. See, my husband is a civilian. He is not even a karaoke person himself. But
That's
you get
me. Don't
us
put a microphone in front of me.
okay. But you get him in a nice circle of friends where we're all just uh being witty
Yeah.
and laughing and cheer. He will hit you with the good Dorothy Parker stuff. Like he's right
That's
on
how
top
my
of
wife
that.
is too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even like just striking up conversations with strangers. Like she'll learn an entire life story from somebody standing in line to get a beer or something, like it's really, and I'm like, nope, that I don't have that skill. That's
Uh,
not me.
yeah, I'm a chatter. I am. Yeah. And invariably because uh I guess because I felt like I was very quiet as a child and
Hmm.
I didn't want to talk about a lot about myself, and now I can't shut the fuck up. Like it's actually like
That's good though. We need people like you
yeah.
in the world.
Well, and what's funny is also because so my husband's in academia, so when I we do the group gatherings very frequently, it's just a bunch of other college professors and it's a bunch of other people who are like at the school. So they all know their shit.
Hmm.
And so they're going back and forth, they're talking about that, and they seem really interested in what I do because it's nothing
Like
like
what
what
they
they do
do.
day to day. So invariably, if someone says, "Oh, so what do you do?" I'm like, "All right, here we go." It's or if somebody says like, "So, do you have any brothers and sisters?" Like, okay, here we go because it's going
Yeah.
to actually start before I was born. We're going to go through four marriages. Let's get into this. Yeah,
I
but
feel
I
that.
never
My
really did
family
that.
dynamic is strange too. So yeah, I feel that.
Did you grow up with brothers and sisters?
I have an older stepsister and a younger half brother. Yeah. And then I have actually older brothers and sisters from my mom and dad too. But they were like literally 20 years older than me before yeah. So they were grown
Mm,
and out of the house by the time I was born.
right. Yeah, there's a few situations like that. So I'm from the second marriage myself of my father. My father's the star of the movie. Isn't that terrible that I'm not even, yeah. But in his movie, I come in second season and then but then there's of the four marriages, so much occurred and so much like and a lot of people are like, oh, four marriages, how like Elizabeth Taylor's like, well, no, there's also like death and trauma and stuff like that. Um but it's and he's never not been married. Like he got married at like 18. So and
Yeah.
sometimes I was gonna say sometimes there was overlap when it came to his marriages or his
My God, I
relationships.
need a book. Let's
Oh yeah, yeah. And the funny thing is, like, I don't even have to wait for anybody to like die or have to deal with that conversation because I'm like, we've always been very, very public about, always been very upfront
That's
about
fair.
it. Well, because we had things like that. We had like
Yeah.
these visual cues. I mean, I grew up with a half black sister, so that was already a question if people wanted to ask that,
Right.
or why the woman who was raising me was so much older than my father was. It just happened to be he married an older woman,
Yeah.
and she wasn't my birth mother, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, so it's always something. It's always something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you are figuring out what you want to do or how you want to handle things for either the next show or for your next performance or your next act, do you bounce things off of your wife or off of a civilian to see their perspective on things, or are you
Sometimes,
self-sufficient?
because she does get to see kind of both sides of it, like
Hmm.
the process of what's happening and then also the finished product.
Hmm.
So sometimes she'll be like, "Yeah, I think that that's like too like maybe close to something I've done before or something like that," and she'll ex-nay something, or she'll just like she doesn't tell me no very often, to be fair. So I feel very lucky in that she's usually just like, yeah, great, whatever you want to do. And we just kind of go from there.
Yeah. What is your process usually? Is it costume? Is it song, theme?
Oh, it varies. Like sometimes I have like a really great costume idea and I just have to make it happen. And then I do that. And then there's no song that will fit. for ages. And then finally I find that one song and can put it on the stage. And then sometimes I find a song and I'm like, this is really great and I need to build something for it. So
Mm.
yeah, it's kind of all over the place.
Hey, it's Victor, and the Silver Tusk Awards are coming. Goodness gracious, 10 years of this ridiculous gorgeousness. I'm baffled and honored. And you can find out all about it at silvertuskawards.com, including when the ballot is open, but check out sometime in November. Around Thanksgiving. Should be roughly around when it happens. Basically, it's a very serious, very dramatic, very cutthroat competition with utterly ridiculous titles and bragging rights. It's fun, and yet it grows every year, and I'm very happy and very proud. It is international. It is available to anyone who is in the burlesque, drag, cabaret spectrum, and it's for us and by us. So you get to vote for your colleagues or yourself or whatever, or people that you want to be, people that you want to get to know. This is your chance. This is your opportunity. And I can't be nominated because it's my show. So please don't vote for me, except if you really want to. I won't win, but that's nice anyway. And yeah, silvertuskawards.com, at Silvertusk Awards on pretty much everything. But you know how it is. Instagram is probably the place to be. And there is a video component of the Silver Tusk Awards. It's Video Star 2026. So there are people who are submitting their digital virtual performances, and you get to vote and say, this is the person who wins that title, and they get to appear during the award show itself that happens in January. It's too much. There's too much to know, and it's still October when I'm recording this, so anything can happen. So please go to silvertuskawards.com, at silvertuskawards on Instagram, and find out more about it. All right. Mwah. Love you. Hey, this is Viktor Devonne. I know it's difficult to strategize how to spend money and where that money should be going, and I thank the folks who have found some way to support financially this podcast. Massive love to the people on patreon.com/WeBurlesque. Thank you very much to Courtney Jones, Dottie Rebel, Charlotte Strudel, Paris Stilton, Luna Delay, Goosey Gander, Roxy Reverie, Faye Havoc, Tiffany Lane, Madam E, iRed, Shimmy LaRue, Curly Bright, Oliver Swisky, Sebastian Crane, Alex Collode, Bo Bridges, and Stormageddon. Love you very, 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 very much. If you would like to support the podcast, you can go to patreon.com/WeBurlesque, and I promise you those dollar bills go to servers, to advertising, to actual real costs, including WordPress, GoDaddy, and people who need my money. So thank you very, very much for help supporting the podcast, and thank you for amplifying the voices of those upon it. Love you very much. Do you have like a list of like a playlist that you listen to and say, okay, this one maybe someday, that kind of thing?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, I keep a like running playlist that I will go back to and go back and listen to and add stuff to all the time.
Are these songs usually like the sultry burlesque expectation standards, or do you mix things up a bit?
Sometimes they are. I don't know. I really also kind of like cheesecake burlesque. Like
Mm,
I the act I did at Beehoff was kind of cheesecakey, and
sure.
I like that boppy style of burlesque too. The slow burn stuff was something I like to do because I challenged myself so much on getting to a point where I could do that. So I do enjoy it and putting those skills to use, but I'm a little all over the place.
I guess it's because we're intersections of art and entertainment, so we get what we get booked for. It's also what we want to create. and say
Mm-hmm.
sometimes what's also really interesting is that we'll get booked for what we're known for, but they want a second act. So sometimes we can mix it up a little bit there as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, when if you were to describe what your traditional silhouette or your traditional style or what is expected to, what would you pitch? How would you say, well, I'm this type of performer?
Oh, well, that's hard because I think that I am really good at adapting. So like if
Mm,
someone is throwing me a pitch for like a party. Like they're like,
hmm
it's my stepdad's 70 billionth birthday and we need someone to do this. I'm like, I can make that work for you. So
Okay.
I'm like very adaptable. Um, because sometimes that is my gig, like that's
Mm.
what's gonna pay my bills. So I would say as far as movement style, I'm probably like a classic glove and gown type of person, but as far as a business style, like, what do you need?
Are you good at improv, do you think?
Huh?
Are you good at improv?
Yeah, I enjoy it. I don't get to do it very often, but I like it.
Mm. Are most
Yeah.
of your acts very choreographed then?
Yeah, a lot of the time. Yeah. Unless it's like I said, someone being like, we're having a party, we just need a like, showgirly act or whatever it is, then yeah. Most of my like stage acts are very choreographed. Yeah.
Well, because of course you can assume everything is going to be exactly each time, and then you get to the venue and you're like, oh,
Huh. It never is.
no, I
Yeah.
can't do it that way. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean
Where
that
else have you?
happened to
Yeah.
me at Arizona. The
Oh,
stage was not long enough for me to be able to actually do all my full floor work
hmm
like in sequence. So I had to kind of like flip my body around in order to be able to do it. So yeah, it's like it's you have to adapt.
Where else have you found yourself? Have you been traveling um outside of the 4 or 5 states that surround you?
Um yeah, I went to Chicago this year.
Nice. I've
I
got to get there. I have to get there.
It's fun. I did Sin City right before I did
Oh, right.
so
Yeah,
I've been
yeah.
to Nevada a couple of times this year, Panama, New Orleans, which I guess New Orleans is right here, but still, it feels far.
Yeah, I would, well, you know what it is, I think because it's its own bubble itself. So you
Yeah,
think New Orleans, you think of just New Orleans. You don't,
yeah,
I kind of, it misses my brain sometimes that that's Louisiana. Like I don't
yeah,
always comma LA after that. Yeah.
yeah,
It's like New Orleans. But I guess I also feel that way about Chicago. I forget about the greater Illinois statehood of that.
yeah,
But and that's I mean California is like in a little bit like that too because we have like 6 or 7 of those like hot spot areas and
yeah.
then you like oh right there's somehow infrastructure that surrounds us
Hmm.
that takes hours and hours to get from one place to another.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have any particular like backstage prep getting ready ritual or procedure that needs to go in a specific methodology?
Not necessarily a specific like, ritual as it needs to go like X, Y, and Z, but I always like try to listen to my own little playlists that I have while I'm getting ready. And then I also like right before stage, I like take a lot of deep breaths and have like a little quiet moment with myself and just like make peace with any perceived mistakes that might happen or before they even happen and just be like if this things don't go to plan, it's okay, and then
Yeah.
do the thing. Yeah.
What about after?
Lots of water. And, yeah. After I just like again forgive myself for anything that could have possibly gone wrong, so to speak, and then um yeah, then I get to like relax and enjoy the people around me.
Oh, I mean, I found you to be quite social beforehand. So do you feel that you get quiet and right beforehand?
I think it's literally right before, like when I'm on deck, the other
Ah,
performer is on stage. That is like my moment of like zone in and like
mhm.
become Raven, you know?
And scene.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. And obviously, it's such a different experience probably from the competition world, which is also very, I hear that it's very high stakes, that it feels like you have
Yeah. Oh,
to hit
yeah.
everything, the precision.
Mm-hmm.
And that was with a group, right? That was with a bunch of other people
Yes.
at the same
Yeah.
time. And so you as a soloist, it's all you. But that
Right.
also means that it's all you.
Yes, but I think that that's there that part of competition dance was so deeply ingrained in me that like if I mess up, it will be noticeable because there's 30 other people doing the exact same thing. And so I have to, as a soloist, remind myself like, oh, if I do mess up, nobody has a clue because there's not 30 other people here to showcase that mistake, you know?
Hmm.
And so it's my way of like backing out of that competition, space and being like, it's actually fine to do whatever happens out there.
Well, because even if you are in a tournament of some capacity, your responsibility is still to the audience.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of that, once you realize that the audience is on your side and
Mm-hmm.
they want you to succeed, and they're living through you in those moments as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could take points off if you feel like you're like, oh, I didn't do that. Oh well, but they don't know it, and they're still happy for me.
Exactly. Exactly.
And also the audience loves a redemption too. If you slip but you get back up,
Mm-hmm.
audience will
Oh,
cheer.
yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So who have you in the scene, who do you look to as both those friends and colleagues that we talked about? They're like, oh, we look at these people and we're like amazed that we also get to call them our friends and such. But you also are like, they really are the tastemakers. Is there anybody
Oh,
either at large that you
that's so tough because I feel like we're surrounded by so much talent and people who just like create the most majestic things out of nothing and just one person.
if you no, it doesn't be one person, just people, just good graces along the way.
Graces along the way. Okay. I would say La Davina out of Dallas. She was
Mm,
like maybe the first performer that really saw something in me and was like, "Hey, you could like maybe do this thing." Um like on a bigger stage than I imagined for myself, you know?
mm.
And I would say Ginger Valentine, of course. I got to meet her when she was in Texas, and so like build that relationship and then do some private lessons with her in my earlier years. Um, yeah, I don't know. There's so many. I feel like Rose Whip out of St. Louis is somebody that I think is just so talented,
Hmm.
such a star. Um, Such a privilege to call her a friend and watch her do the thing.
Well,
This is
when you
stressing
were
me out.
at when you were at the when you were at the Burlesque Hall of Fame, I don't know if a lot of us really have a sense of what the backstage is like, or if there is a dressing area, or if you're all hanging out. And
Hmm.
since it's like the best of the best all together, what was that experience like being with all of these, including legends, experience?
I think it's the same as like any other show. Like
Okay.
everybody's just excited to put on a great show. It's not like that feeling of like, you're my competitor. Like, it's
Hmm.
not like that. We're all like, do you need pasty tape? Like, it's the same kind of thing going on backstage. Somebody needs to eat a snack. Like, it's just, that's the way it goes.
It's just 4 hours as opposed to
Yeah.
90 minutes.
Yes. Well, luckily you're not back there for all 4 hours. Thank goodness.
Oh, wait, did you have I guess, a queue time when you knew you needed to be, or did you watch
Um,
any of the show?
Yeah, I got to watch a lot of the show because it is 4 hours long and it doesn't
Hmm.
take me that long to get ready. So, and most of the show occurred after I went on stage. So I got to watch um a good portion of it.
You were in the debut category?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, though. So that would have been earlier. It's funny because for folks who the uninitiated, if you don't know, the Weekender, this is held at the Orleans. So there's the showroom, which is theater seating, and then you have the stage, and then presumably you have a fairly sizable backstage because they do like theatrical productions there
Mhm.
regularly. Um, Sometimes to the chagrin of the Burlesque Hall of Fame planning committee. Um, so there are probably lots of doors and corridors that lead all around. So it's hard to tell sometimes who is in the room because if you're in that space, you're just seeing what's going on stage. You forget that there's all these other exits and entrances.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were hiding in the back.
No, I just slid into the side and sat down and watched the show.
Yeah. But that wasn't your first Burlesque Hall of Fame attendance, was it?
It
It
was. It was
was.
my first
Wow.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
A memorable
How,
one.
well, and of course, it was also a heavy weighted one as well because it was the last one before the museum would shut its physical location. So that
Mhm.
already was sort of bittersweet.
Yeah.
Um, and I know there are still plans moving forward to have us go again this year,
Yeah.
this upcoming year. Dustin and Co. will be announcing that information. Do we see reapplying in your future?
Um, yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I still had the most fun,
Sure.
going and attending and seeing everybody, talking to the legends. Um,
But
I had
sometimes
a
one and
great
done.
time.
Sometimes you, sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. I don't know when, but yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely would attend again for sure.
Good. Yeah, I would hope so. Because
Yeah.
it's it's interesting. So I lived in Jersey for years before I moved here in Southern California. So it was far enough away for it to be like, it's I don't want to go to Vegas to have to deal with that
Hmm.
and the whole travel thing. And now I live 3.5, 4 hours away, and it's like, well,
I
I'll
might
throw
as
on
well.
I throw on an audiobook and enjoy myself. But also being part of the team because now I'm staff. I work with Sonia Rita at the merch table and
Hmm.
experiencing that. And Desiree Demore was our sort of point leader, so I learned a lot from her. That was also how I got to know her at all. It's a really great experience getting to know folks in that environment. Um,
Yeah.
Outside of the show itself, outside of the tournament of teas, outside of even the movers and shakers. Like the shows are great, don't get me wrong. The parties
Hmm.
are great, but just the goings on and seeing people, it is sort of like a class
Yeah.
reunion.
Hmm.
But it's
And
also like
I
a
think that
class
there's
reunion
an
for students you
element,
never knew.
yeah, there's an element of like community building too that's happening. Like you're like buying stuff from each other, making sure each
Mm,
other are making money, like making sure the legends are making money. There's this like fun community aspect of it that, you know, is unmatched because it's Behoff.
right. Right. I mean, I guess the next possible would be something like BurlyCon, which
Hmm.
is
Yeah, yeah,
in
absolutely.
Seattle. And that also has more an emphasis on community building
Hmm.
on a structural level because it's
Yeah,
classes and it's panels and
right.
it's things like that. Have you
It's
managed to
skill
get?
building. Mm-mm, no, I
Yeah,
want to. Yeah.
I went last year. It was a lot of fun. I taught character study. Um, and so that was very fulfilling.
Oh,
This year
fun.
I had to decide between Arizona and BurlyCon. So I was like, I'll do Arizona.
Yeah, I get it. I'm glad you did. I got to see you.
Yeah. Yeah, it was lovely. And also I was supposed to be there in 2019 and I ran out of money and I had to say I can't get it there. I can't make it
Yeah.
there. And that was again when I was on the other side of the country.
Hmm.
So it's a much shorter plane trip now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Considerably. Considerably. Doing Arizona right on the heels, so to speak, of Sin City, there was what, just a matter of hours, right? You were there
Yeah.
real
It was
quick.
a quick turnaround, yeah.
Yeah. How was the Sin City Burlesque Festival? I feel because I was in Arizona mode, I barely registered it.
It was a lot of fun. It was like, when you go to a festival, you want to be able to experience it fully. So I feel like that whole weekend, I wanted to like osmose myself into two places at once. Like,
Mm.
I wanted to see what was going to happen at Sin City that night while I was competing in Arizona, and then vice versa. I wanted to see what was happening in Arizona on Friday night when I was performing. So it was like, a weird time and space because I was just on the road and traveling, but I wanted to like experience it all at one
Mm.
time, and that part was hard.
Did you drive or did you fly?
I drove.
You
I'm
drove.
I'm crazy,
No, I appreciate it.
I like to make like a thing out of it. I like stop at national parks on the way and like sightsee. Yeah. It's my baby free time.
It's
So,
your private, yeah.
yeah, it's my me time.
I never really think about it as an opportunity to see other things. I'm one of those people who just like holes up in a hotel room usually when I travel. And
Yeah?
unless I'm rooming with somebody and that person suggests we go out,
Oh
like I
no,
will
I'm all
never
over
see
the
your city.
place.
Uh,
I'm all over
I
the place. I'm like, I can't sit in the hotel room. I'm like, there's stuff out there. We got to see it.
I appreciate that there are people like that.
Yeah.
And I also, I mean, and I appreciate when I am rooming with somebody and that's their suggestion.
Yeah.
I remember because for a very long time I was just doing things all by myself. And then um sometimes when you hit a certain echelon, you get invited to these things, they start rooming you for you. And so when I did the Ohio Burlesque Festival, they took care of my accommodation. So I roomed with Suka Creme out of Montreal, who's a
Hmm.
dear friend.
Yeah.
And Suka said, "Oh, do you want to go walking around?" I'm like, I guess we could.
Hadn't even
I
thought
guess
of
we could.
that.
And then like on occasion when you want to like save money or you want to room together and do that, I was with Calliope, formerly known as Red, but Calliope, out of oh God, Calliope, where are you from? San Francisco. And we were in Tulsa, and she was like, "Oh, we could go here and here and here." I'm like, "I suppose we could." All right.
Yes, you got to go see
Yeah.
those like interesting little pockets where, like these festivals come from. Like there's a reason why
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And a lot of it really, you do get a great sense of what the community is all about if you get to
yeah.
experience. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I felt that actually, I did feel that way, as particularly when I went to places like Savannah. Like, because only reason I was in Savannah was because of this festival. Let's walk
Right.
around and see what's here.
Yep.
Let's see the Johnny Mercer statue. Let's go to that bridge over there. My God, it's hot.
Yes.
Ah. So do you get to experience travel outside of shows, or is that really your opportunity?
I think that that's like what facilitates it.
Mm,
If it's like a place I've been often, I typically don't, I'm not going to do that just going to Dallas necessarily because I'm
right.
just there so often. I've already seen it. I've done it. I have my little spots that I like to go eat or whatever, but I don't explore in the same way.
Yeah.
But when it is like a place that is farther or I haven't been to before, yeah, I really use it as an opportunity to like take a little mini vacation essentially.
Yeah. I do try to go thrifting because I find those to be very
Yes.
regionally helpful.
Yes. I
And there were
bet. I
some
bet. Yeah.
finds in Arizona. There really
Hmm.
were in Tucson. So I've been told I should make my way to Phoenix at some point or another because it is while the scenes do merge,
Yes.
it
It's
is
still a
its own
separate. Yeah.
universe. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, that's probably, I mean, that is definitely true for like your LA and your San Diego,
Hmm.
but
It's
I think,
everywhere. It's
yeah,
same here. Yeah.
yeah. Hmm. So you said were you always in Arkansas?
No, I was born in California and moved to Arkansas when I was like in my adolescent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where in California?
San Bernardino?
Oh, it's right next door.
Yep.
Yeah, right, the next county over. Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Do you find yourself back in California at all?
No, never. That's the thing. That's the
Oh,
like craziest part. I was telling my wife, I was like, I've got to get out to California this coming year because it's actually insane that I'm not there. At least sometimes. Like I want to go visit my home state, you know?
yeah. Yeah, and I find, I mean, it is interesting and it sometimes can be intimidating. I will say that. But as someone who moved to the area as a fixture, I was a fixture in New York. I came in at the right time. I had a very influential show for 5 years. I worked with a lot of really fabulous people. It's a hub, so people were traveling in. So I was sort of
Hmm.
an unexpected community leader. At least I didn't
Hmm.
expect it. And then to move to LA where I'm, the working schlub and had suddenly, I mean, yes, I had a crown. It's lovely. It's over there. I have sash. It's over there. Which was never promised to me. And I mean, I couldn't win shit in New Jersey. So very, very proud of that. Um, I find that the Hollywood and the surrounding areas to be very, quote, classic involved. And I
Yeah.
find sometimes that classic is a limiting term. It's also
Hmm.
sort of an amorphous, ambiguous, amphibious word as well. Because what is it really? And for some people, classic is that unadorned panel skirt situation. Remember, we talk a lot about our legends
Hmm.
and their history. Sometimes they were doing the topless gigs or the bottomless gigs. What
Hmm.
is classic? I mean, it's
Yep.
sort of what are we looking at? And then there's sort of like, is this showgirl
Yeah.
aesthetic that we have going on? Which of
Yes.
course we experience through Hollywood lens as
Yes.
well,
Uh-huh.
the movie making world. And now we have, Taylor Swift taking it on. Oh, we got the closed eyes and the gentle shaking of the head. Thoughts?
Um, so many.
So many?
Yeah. I mean, I do think that you're right about the word classic being so limiting, especially now, is well, not especially now. It's always been pretty limiting as far as a certain aesthetic, a certain like height, a certain leg length, a certain thinness, whiteness, whatever. That lens has been there as it has been with everything else in our country because that's how it's built. But um, I think the resurgence of it being popularized through a lens of Taylor Swift
Mm.
is going to be a little brutal, for a little while. I think so.
Well, we got through uh the film. We
Yeah.
got through the Gatsby parties.
Yeah.
Got through,
Oh, I blocked
and
those out.
and it's also like there is an opportunity to then potentially capitalize on them because again,
Oh, yeah.
we do live in a material world and
Hmm.
many at times we just have to be that material girl. And so the aesthetic of the glitz and glamour is fun. And I saw a really interesting, oh, I don't know if I saved it. I hope I saved it because I think it was a story. And sometimes people post the most chef's kiss
Yes,
on
kids.
stories and then it's lost forever.
Hmm.
Um, but I saw a notation. It wasn't exactly a criticism, but it was a commentary on class and how burlesque is sort of a commentary on class because we're working class individuals and we get to
Yeah.
play in opulence. We get to
Hmm.
work with that. And for a billionaire to do it, it's a little grotesque.
That's why it's kind of brutal. It's like,
Yeah.
and historically speaking, that has always been the case. The most opulent showgirls were working class
Hmm.
for the majority. I mean, there were a few exceptions that actually really made like riches doing it, but like,
Yeah. But everything's
and
rented.
that's still true. Like, there's
Yeah.
very few people that reach that status. It is working class people cosplaying this big, beautiful, you know. otherworldly type of existence. And for somebody who lives this otherworldly type of life to cosplay working class cosplaying opulence is really kind of backwards.
It's so meta. And I know, I mean, it's fun too. I mean, I grew up, I just celebrated 19 years performing, and
Nice.
we worked in our Hot Topic striped stockings, cabaret
Yeah.
punk, Dresden
Mm-hmm.
doll enriched era. And I don't know if we necessarily thought we were being glamorous, but I remember sometimes like, and this is already shiny. Like the idea, I got this from
Yeah.
Torrid and it's already shiny.
Yeah.
And this sort of the ruffle panties, the tiny
Oh
hats,
yeah. I
everything
remember.
that makes matte finish his skin crawl.
Yeah.
And then as you see, but you also like at that point, Dita Von Teese was sort of like the
Mhm.
everything because she was the one getting the talk show, she was the one getting the photo shoots, and
Right.
so. But even if you hear her speaking, she still sounds fairly down to earth. I mean, there's still a weird like, oh, I could never wear sweatpants, which are sort of like, okay,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
she's just this small town girl named Heather, like,
Yeah. And I think that she understands because of like how she got her start doing like,
yeah.
you know, rave parties and like she understands what it means to
The
be like
grind
that.
of the
Yeah.
grind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think she's like so far removed from that. I think that, she is a little obviously a little more adjacent to what Taylor Swift may know just because they do actually collaborate. Like they
Yeah,
work
yeah. They
together.
work together.
So it's not
But
I
that's
think
proximity too.
she kind of had yeah,
That's
she has her, kind of her foot in the both pools of that, So
Mhm.
but I
Which
don't
I mean,
think
if you can do, it's good business.
yeah,
It's
I
nice
don't
work if you
fault
can get
her at
it.
all for it. I know
Mhm.
like, people can come for her, but I don't if I could do it, I would. So like get it, girl.
Are you looking for a show where the glamour is real and the stories are juicy? Learning about history is fascinating, especially when it's all glitter and glam.
Join May December and me, Iona Fortune, for Let's Burlesque, where every episode dives into the dazzling world of burlesque legends, scandals, and stardom.
You can find us twirling it on TikTok, Instagram, Blue Sky, and Facebook. And check out even more backstage goodies on our blog at letsburlesquepodcast.wordpress.com.
Because talking about burlesque history keeps the tassels spinning.
You can find Let's Burlesque Podcast wherever you like to listen to your podcasts. Papa Pasty.
Hey, it's Victor, and I love socks. I really do. I wear them every day and frequently on stage. And if you know me, they don't usually match. And that's for lots of reasons, not the least of which is I find life to be too short. And I have too many pairs of socks. And if I wore socks that only matched each other, I wouldn't get to all of them in the time I need them to be seen. You understand. And there's a company called Foot Clothes, and they get me. They have high quality, gorgeous, high pigment, interesting designs. They very easily don't match each other when I wear two different pairs of socks because they're so different looking. And so that's what I want. That's what I need. That's what I live for. So I encourage you to go to footclothes.com, go to their Instagram, check out their catalog. When you buy, and you will, please type in VIKTORDEVONNE all together. That's my name, Viktor Devonne. And you'll get 10% off your order. And you can do that however many times you order because you deserve it. And take some photos and let me know. But it's not for a foot thing. I mean, you can make it a foot thing if you want to, but that's not really my vibe. But, do you. Okay, bye. Did you see The Last Showgirl? It's a Pamela Anderson movie.
I did.
There's
It was
a
fine.
oh, it was
It was
fine. Yeah.
fine. I just feel like the costumes were beautiful and Pamela Anderson did a great job, but I also thought it was a little out of touch for like showgirls. I don't know. And especially like the storyline as a mother, like I just didn't relate because I'm immersed in my
Mm,
kid's life. So
mm.
I just found it unrelatable. I feel like showgirls are substantially more responsible than that portrayed.
Yeah. And obviously the film it's a present day of a past life decision too. So
Right.
show she would have started like decades earlier. So
Hmm.
things would have possibly been different, you know.
Right.
Her choices would have been what they were. I found it to be bleak
Right?
myself. And I came to a realization yesterday, which is why this is fresh on my tongue. Um, I feel it should have been set in Atlantic City. I don't think it belonged in Las Vegas.
You know what? That actually kind of does make it make more sense.
I just because Atlantic City has gone through so much and through Trump and through other decisions that were made in the
Yeah.
80s and the 90s, it just that has sort of become something of a foregone era. I think it's kind of fucked up to have the last showgirl in a place where you can go down the street and actually see Charlie Quinn stunt.
Yeah.
Like it's just sort of
Yes.
like, hmm, but it's not a foregone moment. Go to the
Yeah.
Flamingo. Like it's just sort of
Yeah.
go talk to Hazel
Yeah, I
Honeysuckle.
found
Like
it
I mean, what are you doing?
as somebody who like knows actual showgirls in Vegas doing the thing, it did feel like it was not relatable in that way.
Yeah.
Like it just didn't have that relatability.
I also thought it was too short, which is funny considering, but the reason I say it's too short is because we didn't get enough information.
Yeah, the storyline was short. The movie was
Yeah.
long enough, but the
Oh, yeah,
storyline
yeah,
was
sure.
short. Yeah.
I don't, what pissed me, there were several sequences that were dialogue free of
Yeah.
like montage, like especially towards the end where she's talking with Kieran Shipka and the other showgirls and they're like, where's but they're talking. I want to hear what they're saying.
Yes.
Don't throw that in a pastiche at the end.
Uh-huh.
And that sort of bothered me again, like the superficiality of it all. And
Hmm.
if I felt the film was actually trying to comment on the superficiality of it all, then I would feel
Then that would
okay,
have
that's why.
worked. Yeah.
But it really thought it was doing something. And that's why
No.
I felt a little
Yeah.
put off by that.
I think it's one of those movies that I could watch like on mute with my own little soundtrack and just let it play in the background while I'm like doing stuff because it is
Mm.
visually, there were some visually beautiful moments in it for
Hmm.
sure. But yeah, it's not something that I care to like put in the repertoire of we rewatches. You know,
Yeah,
it's not
it's
it's not 1996 Romeo and Juliet for me, you know? Like
oh, is
it
that
doesn't
a
have the same
strong
effect.
well, we
Oh
can talk
yeah, I
about
think that was
stunning
definitely like
visuals. Yeah.
yeah, the visually speaking, that's like it was something that was formative for me, for sure.
Mm, yeah. The Baz Luhrmann Red
Hmm.
Curtain era was something to behold.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was in high school. I don't actually know how different in ages we are. I just turned 42. I assume you're still in your 30s. Or
Just until the end of the year, yeah.
oh, well, there you go. Um, and the Moulin Rouge sort of explosion of it all. I'm sure that was also a thing for people who were in the scene at that
Yep.
time were experiencing. But my sort of I sort of fell into burlesque accidentally because I came in through the Rocky Horror pipeline.
Fun.
Yeah, yeah. We were asked to do a one-off, like 20-minute set at a indoor Victorian Renaissance-y type fair at a hotel.
And here you are.
And here I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. From, my my humble beginnings at like the DoubleTree, you know.
We all have the humble beginnings. Let's be
Yeah.
real.
Well, and that was sort of like our sort of our garage band era as well. Like it really you do learn a lot about yourself. And as someone again, I only like 2 weeks ago we hit actually only about a week ago, I hit 19 years. Looking back and saying, "Oh wow, what was I thinking 19 years ago? Why did I behave that way? Why did I say that? Why
Oh,
did
yeah.
I fuck that up?" Um, it's as time goes on, I don't know if time heals wounds in the
Mm-hmm.
way that we want it to, but it certainly makes us go, "Oh, I'm gonna be a little gentler to that young
To little me. Yeah.
to little me."
Yeah, for
Uh,
sure. I think that I have learned that through motherhood specifically. Like I
mm,
have there's a lot of like generational stuff obviously that you want to not perpetuate in your own journey with motherhood and teaching this little person how to navigate the world. And I think that I have learned how to like reparent myself and be gentler with myself through
mm.
being, a mom to this little brand new human.
Yeah, with a lot of Bluey or something, I assume.
There, Bluey is involved for
Bluey
sure.
is involved.
Yeah, for
It is
sure.
it is a regular occurrence. Um, well, it also we are. uh, I mean, kids are the hot topic at all times, but right now a lot of the discussion, particularly as of queerness and people being terrified that the influence of kids will somehow be the innocence will be ripped from them. But we don't care about them once they hit a certain age, and we certainly don't
Right.
care about them if they're a certain color
Mm-hmm.
or class. But the respectability politics that we're experiencing as queer people and the whole, the GLB without the T, the gays versus against groomers,
Yeah.
the whole Netflix hoopla that is going on right now. It's such theater.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. For sure. And it's I think that that's is what's interesting about raising a kid at a time where a lot of people in my life don't want children for
Mm.
the very same reasons of like having to deal with the repercussions of this world that we live in, right? And I get that, but I also think some of the best people, I respect their decisions not to have children, but I think that some of the best people who don't want kids are the people that would make the best parents for this next
Mm.
generation. So it's an interesting like thing to
Yeah,
like, because Lord knows people on the other side of that are just having all these
popping them out.
children,
I know
So it's layered and complex for
it
sure.
is. I think I would be a very good parent. I don't want it, but I think I really could be because you know what it is it's everything else besides that that would drive me fucking crazy. It's not just that I would be cranky from the late night feedings. It's that I would deal with their parents and I would
Mm,
deal with every way that this country complicates my life is bad enough, but to have a child where I know what I'm getting them into and having them to also maneuver through, I would just it would stress me out. It takes a lot of acuity to really get there. Oh, did I lose you? I lost you. Where did you go?
I don't know what
Uh,
happened.
oh, it's all right.
There
Um, I was just saying that
we are.
the acuity that it would require to sort of have this little person or little people that I would feel obviously responsible for, but then would have to see in every way that the country complicates it would
Oh
be.
yeah, it's definitely heavy. It's heavy. And I am thinking about every decision, every interaction, and how that affects their future all the time, constantly.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, and as much as the lesser girl may suggest, the sort of representation of mothers who are separated from their kids. There are a lot of work and show people out there with kids. And
Oh
that was
yeah.
also the reality all along. You hear
Mm-hmm.
that from the legends too, where they had their
Yeah.
kid in the dressing room
Oh
or
yeah.
yeah.
My kid it runs around with boas at least a couple of times a week, you know? Like it's just it is their life. Yeah.
But I assume that there are some things that are massively out of bounds or
Oh
that
yeah,
are
for sure. For sure.
they're like, no, that's on the high shelf. You
Yeah.
don't get to play with that.
Yeah.
That's mommy's 2000 dollar.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Um, in addition to your life as the actual life of a showgirl, so to speak, is there anything else that you enjoy or get into? Or I mean, obviously you have so much, there's only so many hours in the day, and as a parent, I'm sure that takes up a
Yeah.
great deal, but what else do you enjoy doing?
Well, I like being outside. I
Mm,
have a garden, like a vegetable
mm,
garden that I just live for. It is fall right now and it's very sad, but so all the cold weather plants are pretty boring. So, um, and then I'm learning to play the drums for no reason.
really?
Yeah, just to do something new and challenging and different that I've always wanted to do it. So I was
Mm,
like, this year I'm gonna learn how to play the drums, and
mm.
it's kicking my ass right
Do
now.
you have your own set?
Yeah, my wife got me a set. Yeah. She was a
Substantially
drummer in
big?
high school. Yeah, it's like a full kit. It is pink, obviously. Um, and yeah, I am pretty terrible,
Mm.
but it's fun to be terrible at something.
I mean, as an instrument goes, because it doesn't have strings
Hmm.
or a reed or anything that you
Yeah.
would or the tabs of a trumpet, for example, or keys like a piano. I think a lot of people would possibly just say it's just hitting things, but it obviously can't just be hitting things.
No, I have said that. I was like, surely I can do this because I'm a dancer. I
Just hit the beat.
know rhythm, I can keep tempo. I can do different things with different parts of my body at the same time. No, this is wrecking me. Yeah, it's really,
Mhm.
really tough.
Humbling.
Yeah, very, very. It's been fun though. I've had a good time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Loud.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
wear I wear earplugs when because I am going to be 40 this year. I have to like take care of my body and things. So,
Well, you have responsibilities. You got to be there.
hmm.
So I get it. Yeah. There's that other element. I said, do you have to work against your dance training and your into your burlesque? But now you also have to like, all right, I have to keep going and
Yeah.
listen to my body do things, and
Yeah.
then yeah. Ah, well, it's been lovely getting to know you. I know it's only been, like the smallest of slivers of your history and your past. We didn't even talk about like you know, the real Barbara Walters stuff. But in terms of what you have looking forward and saying, you know what, I've accomplished this, I've done this, I've accomplished this, is there anything that you see on your either vision board in your head or physically, if you have one, that you say, you know what, let's do that someday?
Like the tippity top beacon of like,
Not that it doesn't have to be the top,
oh,
but at least
okay.
something else that you want to do next, or that you want to maybe
I
try to do in
mean,
the next 5 years.
I want to
Do
do
you
it
see yourself doing
all.
this forever?
Yeah, I think that I always joke that I want to be like 90 and fall off a stage and that's like how I go.
You want to
Like,
traumatize the audience. Excellent.
yeah, of course. They'll remember it. It's. Yeah, no, I do. I don't see there being a one thing that's like, okay, I did it and like now I'm
Mm.
done. I want to just do this until I can't do it anymore. Yeah. I think having that piece where you're having that connection with an audience, that exchange with them. Like, I think I want to do that forever.
Yeah, that's basically how I see it. And I've obviously been able to facilitate it in other directions too, through the podcast or through
Mm-hmm.
non-stage time, because frankly, I don't have that much stage time. My stage time got considerably cut since the pandemic. I used to do 2 to 3 shows a week,
Mm-hmm.
which is not, it's not even that big a commitment, but it's still my favorite thing,
Mm-hmm.
putting on shows and doing shows and getting to know people at shows. It's how I maneuver through the world still.
Yeah.
And I think as a creative who also, I guess, enjoys experiences too. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know what do you call an epicurist of experience? Like someone a hedonist sounds too sexy. Like I just want to experience. Like I
Yeah.
love good theater. I want to hear and feel. I don't know why. I feel like I've always been running out of time.
Yeah. I think that that is something that is common in people our age too. Like we are at this age where we're like, oh, I never thought I'd make it this far. So like, now
Not for
what?
lack
Now
of
what are we
trying.
doing? Yeah.
Yeah.
So just because of the state of the world and the many things that we've lived through, and like there's for one reason or another, we were like, oh, I didn't know, life was possible past this
Yeah.
age.
Yeah, and I mean, we do have to deconstruct that, and that is something that I really probably should work through in therapy. But the concept of, I guess, there was a time growing up, I really have to consider this. Ev- every gay person was either dying of AIDS or getting gay bashed. And so I look at being past that, and then I also see the world sort of reverting in its fear
Yeah,
mongering again. Um, and then I look at, like, I see the propping up of martyrs that are being weaponized and used against us. So obviously we had
hmm,
the Charlie Kirk death a couple of weeks ago, and I'm seeing this sort of canonization of an individual that didn't ask for it, and I'm kind of mortified on his behalf. And I didn't like him, and I'm mortified on his behalf
right.
because I didn't like that when we canonized Matthew Shepard.
Hmm.
And yes, a lot of great things came from his family coming together and the unification of like the uh, famous people getting behind it
Right,
as a movement or something like that. And that, oddly enough, was full of love. And this one doesn't seem full of love. But it's
right.
sort of like, I don't know, that's just the concept of using dead people in that way.
Yeah.
It is necromancy, and I don't like it.
Yeah, you're not
Yeah,
wrong.
it's weird to me. See, again, it's just, I don't get it. I
And
don't
you
get it.
probably won't because it's
That's
not,
probably.
yeah.
And now we have AI. Can you imagine if we had AI back then?
Oh,
Uh,
no.
I know.
That stresses me out a lot. I do. That's something I think about. Yeah.
Just the of what specifically? Just the
Just I guess how unknown the
mm,
possibilities are with it are, it's so vast already that I'm like,
mm.
this is gonna get wild. It's, you know, it's it's gonna get wild, I think.
Yeah. It's one of the interesting elements of something like, because we've had science fiction warn us about the future, but it seems
Hmm.
so out of the reality that now that it's in grasp, we're like, well, that's not really going to happen. Like, but we've actually
It's already
created
here. It's already kind of here. Yeah. So what do you mean?
we've already like gone through the worst case scenario, and we're we're just embracing. Okay, all right, cool,
Yeah,
all right. And we have people in charge who don't really understand it. That's the other scary thing, is that I'm
so
sorry, like
frightening.
there's a whole culture of people that are really excited about every meme that our president drops. But I'm like, he's not putting that into Chat GPT. That's not him. Like somebody's doing
Yeah.
that for him. He couldn't explain
Yeah.
to you how any of that works. Like, it's the interns that are that are
I
scary.
know, but the memification of all of our politics is like the most stressful part. It's like how we got here, and I'm just like,
It's so dumb.
yeah.
It's
Like, are
just
we
so
just gonna see
stupid.
how far we can take it? Is that what the point is? Like, I don't understand.
And I know we've always had like a political cartoon nation,
Right.
but we always had to label everything in a political cartoon. Like I don't know, we
Yeah,
didn't
well,
take
and there's like,
metaphor.
yeah, it's a totally different realm when it kind of looks real, like it's happening, like it's, like that's a whole different front on the when it comes to misinformation, and that's frightening.
Yeah. And the cruelty of it. It's really, really easy to reduce things to their basic elements. So th
Hmm.
as the time we're talking, this episode will have been 2 weeks before, but like we're in right now in the big time where everyone's putting sombreros on people in AI. Like
I haven't
actual
seen that.
government.
I haven't
Oh,
seen it.
I spent
That's
too much time on
terrible.
Twitter. Spent too much time on Twitter. And I hope that by the time this comes out, it was like, oh yeah, that was a wild time. We don't do that anymore. But who's to say?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just this weird dehumanization and
Yeah.
degradation. Yeah,
And it just keeps, it's a slippery slope and it just keeps sliding. And that's the
yeah.
frustrating part.
But then we get to go be shiny and fun and happy
I
and
know.
exciting and
Entertain the masses, right?
entertaining. Well, because we're all doing it together. So
Yeah.
hopefully, and I know that sometimes we get a little gatekeepy, and I think we get appropriately gatekeepy about who we're performing for, who we want invited, because
Oh,
we don't
yeah.
want to we don't want to perform for the bad people.
Well, and it's also an issue of like safety,
Yeah,
really. Like,
I mean, we work in bars. My husband works at
yeah.
at a college. Those are two of the most targeted places right now. That's a very
Yeah.
real situation.
Hmm.
So, well, I'm glad we ended on that very uplifting note. Before I let you go, and I find you an utter delight, and I look forward to sharing time, hopefully in person again, in a
Yes, that would be
backstage.
nice.
Where can people find all of the goings on that you do?
Um, like my social medias.
Yeah,
Okay, you can find me at Raven Rose Burlesque on Instagram and TikTok. I don't do Twitter anymore. I got rid
I
of it
know.
when what's his
I'm
face?
getting there. I'm getting there.
I
I
know
get
it's
crank.
hard to let go.
I like
I
to
get it.
argue. I like to argue, and
You can
I
do
know
that
it's
on
terrible.
TikTok if you really want to. It's
Oh,
like,
I know.
yeah, I know. I
Uh,
know. I mean, TikTok's also going down the drain at the moment, so I don't know.
it's
We'll
all
see.
terrible. It's
Yeah.
all terrible. Uh,
Um, but yeah, Instagram's where you can find all the pretty little pictures, and then TikTok's where you can find me being a little weird. So,
all right. Is it difficult to create content for you, or have you gotten into the grind?
n- I don't like social media, so when it's out there, when I do it, it's I spit it out and then I like don't look at it for like 2 months. So,
Well, it's hard because we have to be our own editor. We have to be in our
Mm,
own everything. So,
yeah,
and we don't have uh, a manager saying to us, maybe don't post that.
yeah.
Maybe don't post
That's probably for the
that.
best though. That's how we get, all this entertaining content from each other, at the very least.
Yeah, we never use that against each other. You're absolutely right. Yeah. We would never. All right, darling. It's a pleasure and a privilege, and I
It has
look
been.
only forward and seeing the best for you.
Oh,
So
thank you. I'm so happy to talk to you today. So it was
my
nice to get
delight.
like one-on-one kind of FaceTime.
Yeah, I know. And audience at home, we are de-dragged, so we
Oh
really got to
yeah, I look
just.
like a mom today,
Oh,
okay?
you look gorgeous, gorgeous,
Oh,
gorgeous,
thanks.
gorgeous. Continue to thrive, however that manifests, and have a wonderful
Oh, thanks.
rest of your year. And I hope to see you again soon.
Soon. Sooner rather than
Soon.
later.
I'll make my way to
Yes.
Arkansas. I know people in Arkansas. I can do that.
We'll show you around.
All right. That sounds good.
Yeah.
That's a one time. So it's 1:30 here. What time is it there?
I think it's 3:30. Yeah.
Okay, so it's 2 hour difference. All right, I can make that work. I mean, I going to the East Coast is really sort of fascinating, and then I come back here and I gain the 3 hours, and it's like I have a whole day suddenly.
Yeah, no, the time difference
Yeah.
is like huge for some reason, it feels like.
It's only getting more and more. I think because of the 24-hour news and because of the gig economy of it all,
Mm-hmm.
just feels extra
Yeah,
sizable.
I
Because
can
we don't want
imagine.
to admit it, but we really are a global world. I mean, we're a global world. That sounds so stupid. But we deal with everything in the world at the same time.
Yes. Yeah.
So it doesn't make any sense that it's midnight over there. Like it's sort of
Yeah.
yeah. All right. I'm starting to ramble.
All
Mwah.
right.
Be well, sweetheart.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
That's it.
All right. Okay.
WEBurlesque the podcast, created, developed, and edited by Viktor Devonne. Podcast artwork by Logan Laveau. WEBurlesque the podcast cover art photography by Atticus Stevenson. Theme song, On a 45 by This Way to the Egress, used with permission. All incidental music via Pixabay under the expectation of fair use. Please visit WeBurlesquePodcast.com for notes on this and every other episode. Follow WeBurlesque and Viktor Devonne on just about every platform, and support the podcast via patreon.com/WeBurlesque. Don't got the cash? Please follow, subscribe, and give 5 stars on every platform you can get your hands on. It really does help. All original material is owned by Viktor Devonne and White Elephant Burlesque Corporation. All other materials property of their respective copyright. No infringement, while likely, is intended. This episode, and all episodes thereafter, are in memory of Lucky Charming. Miss you, friend. And that's it.
Woohoo!
Tonight on Murder, She Wrote.
Hooray!
Hey.
Yeah,
It's kind of Piper Laurie and Brenda Vaccaro at a love child.
thank goodness.
I want to know
Those
her.
nails. Yeah, where's her series? That's what
She's
I want.
fabulous.
The son is Joaquin Phoenix.
I know, isn't that nuts? And he is an ugly little kid. I'm sorry.
We're just like, hey, remember when this guy was in this obscure Broadway show in 1976?
Right? Look at him in those tight pants. Yum.
Well, because there's not
But
a
we
lot
do
really
get-
going on. It's
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're listening to the dialogue, which frankly, audience at home, you can do without us. We're just
Yeah, do
learning
your own
about
work,
some of these
damn it.
backstory. But
Right.
Boswell put her up to it.
Yeah.
And then Trish had to be killed because she realized that Boswell didn't have her interests at heart because Teddy was the inheritor.
Yeah.
Playing her like a fiddle.
Oswell knew it, and Trish just gulped it down like one of those martinis.
And then tossed it onto the lawn.
And then lost her head. Poor Trish.
Trish loses her head. This is Viktor Devonne,
And this is Petra Fried
and this is Tonight.
on Murder, She Wrote.